Twitter files. Let's get to Aaron Mate. Yes, Aaron Mate was given another opportunity to work with Racket News and get access to Matt Taibbi's treasure trove cache of data from the Twitter files, from which they're still trying to sort about a bunch of stuff out and going through all of the communications that they got from that dump. So again, on the 7th, so that was, Wednesday, the FBI helps the Ukraine censor Twitter users and obtain their info, including journalists, including a journalist named Aaron Mate. Yeah. The FBI aided a Ukrainian intelligence effort to ban Twitter users and collect their data, leaks reveal. Twitter declined to censor journalists targeted by Ukraine, including Aaron Mate. So they asked and were declined by Twitter because they didn't see a reason to. So there's our friends over at the FBI. Hi, John. There's our FBI. I'm just saying hi to our handler that's listening because they're always listening. The FBI has... FBI, open up! Guys, I'm doing a show. I'll be back. All right. FBI has aided a Ukrainian intelligence effort to censor social media users and obtain their personal information, leaked emails reveal. In March of 2022, an FBI special agent sent Twitter a list of accounts on behalf of the Security Service of Ukraine, or the SBU, Ukraine's main intelligence agency. The accounts, the FBI wrote, are suspected by the SBU in spreading fear and disinformation, quote unquote. In the
what about malinformation?
Well, fear, dis, and mal. Right. Those are my three pets, miss, dis, and mal.
Yeah.
In an attached memo, the SBU asked Twitter to remove the accounts and hand over the user data. Hand over the user data, not even just remove the accounts, but we want to know everything about who they are and what you know about them. The Ukrainian government's FBI-enabled targets extend to members of the media. The SBU list that the FBI provided to Twitter included my name and Twitter profile. In its response to the FBI, Twitter agreed to review the accounts for inauthenticity, but raised concerns about the inclusion of me and other American and Canadian journalists. I can only imagine who else's name was on there, considering when they detained Kit Clarenberg. I think we're going to have to clip that. Kit Clarenberg.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to know what he knew about Max Blumenthal.
Kit Commander, you say?
Yes. The FBI's attempt to ban Twitter accounts at the request of Ukrainian intelligence is among the most overt requests for censorship revealed to date in the Twitter files, a cache of leaked communications from the social media giant. The FBI censorship request was relayed in a March 27, 2022 email from FBI Special Agent Alexander Kobanets, the assistant legal attaché at the U.S. Embassy in Kiev. The two Twitter executives. 4 FBI colleagues were copied on the exchange. Quote, "Thank you very much for your time to discuss the assistance to Ukraine," Kobanets wrote. "I'm including a list of accounts I received over a couple weeks from the Security Service of Ukraine. These accounts are suspected by the SBU in spreading fear and disinformation for your review and consideration." Oh my God, Jesse.
Spreading fear.
Spreading fear and disinformation for your review and consideration. That is absolutely a fucking line that's going to go in a Jesse Jet poem or lyric from very quickly. I promise you. That sounds like Jesse just wrote that. So there's the email.
Send it to him.
Yeah, maybe we will. Copy that. Let's
right now.
Like literally right now. All right. And I'll explain later. All right. So, squirrel. Yes, I do squirrel even when I'm running a show. So, the attached document was drafted by Ukraine's SBU, contained 163 accounts, including mine. The list is numbered to 175, but some have 2 corresponding numerical lines. I'm not going to open the list. You're welcome, Reef. The listed Twitter profiles, the SBU alleged, have been used to disseminate disinformation and fake news, to inaccurately reflect inaccurately reflect events in Ukraine, justify war crimes of the Russian authorities on the territory of the Ukrainian state in violation of international law. They're calling it Article 5 NAFO is what these assholes are doing. Literally. Yeah, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
In order to stop Russian aggression on the information front. Okay, except that these guys are the biggest liars and misinformation purveyors on the planet. Quote, we kindly ask you to take urgent matters to block these Twitter accounts to provide us with user data specified during registration. Because everybody just created an entire army of Twitter profiles that featured a stupid dog head, right? Everybody did that. No, that was the Ukrainians with the aid of NATO or the CIA or Homeland Security or whoever the hell helped them. But somebody in the U.S. and in the Five Eyes. I think there's somebody in British intel too, because Britain seems to be also one of the countries that's driving this Ukraine war heavily. I think they're deathly afraid of a Germany-Russian alliance, and they're doing everything they can to drive a wedge between Germany and Russia, which pushes Russia away from Western Europe. I think that's partly what's happening. It's not just us. It's them too. So, in order to, quote, stop Russian aggression on the information front, right, we kindly ask you to block these Twitter accounts and provide us with user data specified during registration. So you want their credit card, which is what a lot of them had to provide. You want some of their ID. You want whatever information. How about no? The SBU expressed its gratitude for the existing level of interaction. That means they're already doing something. Right? That's literally from the memo. Did you see the memo? You got the memo, right?
How about you?
Thank you. That was very scratchy. If granted...
It is. It's just, I need to find a better file.
The users on the list would not only have been banned from Twitter, but had their phone number, date of birth, and email address disclosed to both the FBI and SBU. I'm guessing that the FBI probably has your date of birth and email address as well and phone number. Anyway, they didn't really need Twitter to give it to them.
I'm in danger.
Yep. In response, Yoel Roth, our friend, not so much, Twitter's then head of trust and safety, informed Special Agent Kobinets and his FBI colleagues that Twitter would review the reported accounts under our rules, but he warned that the list included a few accounts of American and Canadian journalists, e.g. Aaron Mate. Therefore, Roth said, Twitter's review would focus first and foremost on identifying any potential inauthenticity. Roth then said, now how much time are they committing to this on behalf of the Ukrainian security service? This is insane. Like, what is it Twitter's business to be censoring this kind of shit? Well, we know, but like Jack was running Twitter then. Did he just basically turn around and turn a blind eye to it? Or, well, no, we know that Jack was probably in on this shit too. Roth then suggested that he would be open to suspending authentic accounts if it could be proven that they have a hidden tie to a foreign government. This is the TYT line about who pays you, who funds you. They're trying to censor anyone that is saying that Ukraine is losing. Journalists who cover the conflict with a pro-Russian stance are unlikely to be found in violation of our rules absent other contexts that might establish some kind of covert or deceptive association between them and a government, Roth wrote. Any additional information or context in those areas is, of course, welcome and appreciated. They're perfectly happy to censor people on behalf of Ukraine that are saying that Russia is winning. They just need further proof legally in order to be able to do so. That's what Yoel is basically saying. That's that last line right there. We all know what a piece of shit Yoel Roth is. And now he's in hiding, by the way, because of the Twitter files. And that sucks. But man, did you screw over a lot of people.
Yeah, but what about...
Bajaya, watch your mouth. This is a family show.
She's just fine, man. She testified in front of Congress again recently. So in his reply, Kobinets did not directly acknowledge Roth's concerns about Ukraine's FBI-abetted effort to censor journalists. Understood, he told Roth. Whatever your review determines and action Twitter deems is appropriate. He also indicated that the FBI
Whatever
would...
you say.
Yeah, that's right. Would not meet... He indicated that the FBI would not meet Roth's request for any context that might establish ties between journalists and a foreign government. unlikely there'll be any additional information or context. Yeah, okay.
Well, I read Tom Clancy, and it was a book about Russia. So therefore, I have to be a Russian agent, obviously.
Of course. So
You know,
inside Twitter, Roth forwarded the FBI request to 2 colleagues. This is the output of our meeting with the FBI last week. The output. Corporate speak is such bullshit. The list of accounts is a mixed bag. There's some state media mixed in with a bunch of other stuff, but given the context, I think a deep dive here warranted. Why? Why? Are you now working for the FBI? Are you now working for who appointed Twitter the security state? Well, we know the answer to all those things, but it wasn't the public. We never had a referendum on this. We never decided that was okay, and Twitter never told us that they were doing this.
I mean,
that's the whole point of the Twitter files, is that they were giving all this stuff and working hand in hand with agencies, national security agencies, FBI, and that's just here. You think they weren't doing that in other countries where Twitter was operating? Come on. So, yeah, now we know they are narrative managers. They are censorship monger. This is gross. And to find out more of this that they were asking for. Now, thankfully, in this case, Twitter didn't oblige, but I'll bet they took down some of those accounts. Yeah. While we appreciate your inquiry as a matter of practice, we do not confirm, deny, or otherwise comment on specific interactions, nor confirm the veracity of correspondence. Yeah, thanks. That's when anyone asked about whether they were involved with this. The National Press Office from the FBI. So, the FBI officials copied on Kobinet's exchange with Twitter include Elvis Chan. We've definitely seen Elvis Chan in prior Twitter files. He's an assistant special agent in charge of the FBI San Francisco field office. That's the local one to where Twitter's headquarters is, where he manages its cyber branch. He's literally like the Silicon Valley super spook. That's Elvis Chan.
Super spook.
Well, super spook for the FBI. He's not, and he may also work for the OGAs, but we don't know. Chan was active in the FBI's contacts with
The original
Twitter.
Gangsters Alliance.
Yep. When the social media giant censorship of reporting on Hunter Biden's laptop. Right. Chan was involved in the Hunter Biden laptop censorship also shortly before the November 2020 election. And as Aaron recently reported, he was also involved in the FBI's decision to forego a direct inspection of the DNC servers and instead rely on the Hillary Clinton-funded cyber firm CrowdStrike in the Bureau's probe of alleged Russian hacking in 2016. Of the 163 accounts named by the SBU, 34 were suspended and 20 no longer exist. So, about a third. The rest remain active. Well, okay, so I guess they did find some to be in violation. I think that if you suggest 163 accounts to Twitter, about a third of them are going to be bots anyway, right? I mean, that's less than a third, 34 out of 160. So I think that's a pretty decent hit rate. Those marked for censorship by Ukraine but remain online include Russian politicians Gennady Zyuganov, a longtime member of Russia's Communist Party and parliamentarian who lost to Yeltsin in Russia's 96 presidential election, Dmitry Rogozhin, who is Russia's former deputy prime minister, and Sergei Mironov, who is a Russian politician and parliamentarian. So the list also includes Russian journalists and the editor-in-chief of the Russian state-controlled network RT. Several Russian government agencies and media outlets were also listed. And the Ukrainian nationals targeted by the SBU's suppression request include a video blogger and politician that's Anatoly Shary, who fled Ukraine in 2012 and subsequently received EU asylum, Andrei Portnov, and he's a lawyer and politician, and then a senior who served as senior official under Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych until Yanukovych's ouster in the February 2014 Maidan coup. So both of their accounts remain active. So that's pretty interesting. They were kind of kicked out and exiled from Ukraine. So the disclosure of a collaboration on censorship between the FBI and SBU is the latest documented instance of Ukrainian state-tied attempts to target foreign voices. We know all about that. A Ukrainian website known as Mairovets, we know all about that too, maintains a list of what it calls enemies of the Ukraine. Aaron was recently added to that list, along with the Gray Zone's Anya Parampil, as well as the comedian and YouTube host Jimmy Dore. Tara Reid has interviewed no less than 10 people on that list already. You can go see a Tara Reid playlist over on Indie News Network, or go see youtube.com/Tara Reid author. You have to type it all the way out or find most recent videos, because if you search her name, they show all the corporate media slamming of her from years ago, but it doesn't show any of her more recent current work, where she's done incredible investigative journalism and work. Of course, Tara Reid moved to Russia. I think we talked about that a little bit last week, but we love and support Tara Reid. She's a member of Indie News Network. We're going to continue to do her podcast at INN. But to get back to Aaron's article here, last year, the Global Tech Media Conference Web Summit, right, withdrew a speaking invitation to the Gray Zone's Max Blumenthal and Aaron after Olena Zelenska, the wife of Vladimir Zelensky, demanded their cancellation. Another Gray Zone colleague, Kit Clarenberg, was recently detained and interrogated about his journalism by British authorities. Again, Gray Zone, Kit Clarenberg, both Indie Media Award honorees. So, news of the FBI's work with Ukrainian intelligence to censor Twitter users also follows reporting from journalist Li Fang that the FBI has pressured Facebook to remove accounts and posts deemed by the SBU to be Russian, quote, disinformation. According to Fang, a senior Ukrainian official in regular contact with the FBI, to define disinformation in such broad terms that it could mean viewpoints that simply contradict the Ukrainian government's narrative. Support Aaron Mate. Support the Gray Zone. He's also on Useful Idiots on Mondays, but and they've done some pretty decent interviews themselves. You know, they had Cy Hirsch on recently, some other pretty big. I think they had Roger Waters on last week or 2 weeks ago. Kit Clarenberg was also featured. I wonder how they got that interview, because Aaron and Kit worked together over at the Gray Zone. But yeah, great art, a great writer, Arabate. Good dude.